Welcome to the 3 a.m. podcast. My name is DJ.
My name is Sean.
And my name's Charlie.
Sorry, Charles had to fix himself. A bunch of friends tell scary stories, tell jokes. It's going to be a quick one tonight. So, buckle up for this short ride. No.
Have y'all seen the Britney Spears documentary?
No.
No.
Okay. I listened to a podcast called What Really Happened? And it was, I think, dude, I should look it up, but I'm not.
Was that the Lady and Tiger King?
Britney Spears?
Yeah. No, I'm just
I was like, dude, are you
Carol
that
Baskin.
Hawaiian? No, she's kind of this phenomenon that happened on the mainland.
Oops.
Yeah. Anyway, so I listened to this podcast back in the day, and it broke down like Britney Spears' life. And do you guys know like what's happening with her right now?
Wait.
I remember I made fun about her last year, about her social media feed because she's wilding out.
And did I like tell you not to or something?
You're sad
Okay.
about her and her story or whatever.
Do you know what's happening with her right now?
Negative.
Okay, so she's
like a slave or something to some
a
label.
slave for you. Isn't that one of her songs? Is that not a thing? Anyway, she's in what is known as a conservatorship.
A conservatorship?
Yes. So you basically enter into a legal agreement where someone else can take control of your life's decisions. Monetarily, health, they can decide who you interact with, they can decide how you spend your money, everything like that. And do you remember when she kind of broke down in like 2007, 8, something like that?
The whole bald Britney.
The whole leave her
face.
alone.
Yeah. So during that time, her dad, okay, everything I'm saying is not real. So
Alleged.
I'm free of all legal whatever. Her dad was like an alcoholic, not in the picture at all. And then all of a sudden comes out of nowhere while she's like struggling, somehow gets her to sign this conservatorship, and he's been in charge of her estate ever since. And right when he became in charge of all her money, where he gets a huge percentage of all her money, she signed a residency in Las Vegas where she performs like 3+ times a week and brings in millions. So the theory is she has 2 kids who she loves, and in order to have visitation rights, she has to perform and make her dad millions and millions of dollars. And she's not allowed to leave her house or communicate with anyone. And so she was posting wild things on her social media, and all her real fans start breaking it down. And they're like, there's a code in here. She's asking for help. She's asking for freedom. And because she like did all these things, and like if you read into the subtext of all of them, it kind of, there's like subtext that's like someone who wants to be free, right? So she's in this dilemma, in this battle. She's being held against her will, basically. Not allowed to talk to anyone, not allowed to see her kids unless she performs. And they're like in the middle of the battle. So there's this huge movement. So New York Times did a documentary where they talked about it. I suggest everyone goes and watches it. It's on Hulu. But I'm like full on team Britney now. I looked up to buy a t-shirt. I want a free Britney t-shirt. Because it's sad, dude. Yeah. If you watch the whole documentary, it is so sad what happened to her and how she was treated.
Just living a toxic life.
Okay.
Is there a time limit on it?
No, it's indefinite. Okay, so what are conservatorships for? They're for really, really old people who can't make their own decisions, or anyone who's like mentally insane. Yeah. She is fully coherent. She might be a little odd, but like who isn't, who's been famous since they were, 16 and sexualized since they were 16. So she fully asked, like, I don't want my dad to be in charge of this. Anyway, the most recent is the dad, Jamie Spears, has what's the thing you do when like you want someone to stay away from you?
Restraining order.
So the dad, Jamie Spears, has a restraining order against him, taken out by Kevin Federline.
K-Fed.
Her ex, who I think is from Fresno. Shout out. Best thing we've ever done. No, I'm just kidding. He took out this restraining order because the dad got into a fist fight or like a physical altercation with the 13-year-old son.
What?
Yeah, Britney Spears' son. So, okay, then, sorry. Dude, it's so deep. Y'all should just go watch it. Basically, so she asked, she's like, I don't want to be under this like enslavement anymore, and asked, and they fought, and they had this huge trial, and it just went down. And they removed Jamie, the dad, from the conservatorship, but she's still in a conservatorship. So he's still getting paid, all this stuff. Anyway, it's wild.
So hypothetically speaking, if the dad just happened to pass away,
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
would it be over?
I don't think so. I think it would just switch to like, she asked for a bank to be in charge of her right now, and it's just like one step away. And so everyone's hoping that she can continue. But she's in this like super weird agreement, and she doesn't want to be. And it's kind of scary that like she legally can't get out of it.
That's kind of like, and sorry if this triggers anyone, it's a good business idea going around getting people to sign conservatorships to you.
Literally, the lawyer who helped the dad get her into this conservatorship, like a memo leaked from him, and he was saying how this should be considered as a future hybrid business model, is getting people into conservatorships. It's terrifying, bro.
Bro, don't sign anything that you don't read all the way through.
Yeah. I don't think she had to sign it. Like, anyway, all I'm saying is free Britney. I'm Team Britney. I'm out there. If you need me to protest, I'll be there. That's all I'm saying.
Still Team Jacob.
Go watch it, dude. It's like, it's gut wrenching what she went through and how like she was treated.
That's sad, bro.
It's so sad. And that's Hollywood Corner.
Bro, all y'all up on current events. I'm just like over here watching Love Island, bro.
Sean's like, Stacy, she won in the challenge, and her and Scott are going on a date.
Bro, things are getting heated.
Dude, who are your celebrity crushes?
Bro, so many.
I got roasted for all my celebrity crushes last week.
Mine's Joe Rogan, bro.
Because
I would conceive a child with Joe.
bro joking.
Yeah. Who'd you get roasted for?
I can tell you who I got roasted by. Your wife.
Well, get used to it. Dude, she's a roast queen.
She really is. She's good at it.
Light your ass up.
But I agree, all my celebrity crushes are all weird looking, dude.
Well, you like unique. You like uniqueness. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah.
I mean,
Okay, but like, who were they?
Emma Stone,
Okay, no, she good. She hot.
Anya Taylor-Joy,
Also hot.
Who's that?
Queen's Gambit, and The Witch.
on your business.
I don't want to say The Witch because at that point she was like 16.
Okay. What is happening?
I told you. There's a ghost.
Sorry, the lights all just fell down. The studio's haunted.
Okay, wait, you said Joe Rogan. Who's your gay crush?
Probably Jason Momoa, dude.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's my cousin.
Bro, you gotta have to introduce me then, bro.
He got all the genes.
Dude, his whole like dope story commercial was all a commercial.
Dude,
It got me at the end.
The Carhartt one, I think. Yeah.
We were watching this thing like it's a documentary getting this man crush on this man, and then it ends and it's a Carhartt commercial, and all of us are like, wait, what did we just watch?
Am I wearing Carhartt right now?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm wearing Carhartt right now.
It's so beautiful. It's so well done. The cinematography's on point and the storytelling's really, really good. He's just talking about like being a father and a husband, and you're just in total admiration of this human.
You're like, I want your life.
And he's like, I'm the man I am because of the Carhartts I wear at the very end. It's like, damn it.
And we're all like, we just got.
Yeah, just bamboozled.
Ordered 3 Carhartts in my cart.
You know who I think is attractive?
Who?
I think his name is Ezra. He's the orphan kid in Fantastic Beasts.
See, you like hella unique looking
Do you know what I'm
people.
talking about? Do you know who I'm talking about?
That fool has facial features like razor blades.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just right angles. Dude's an isosceles triangle.
He's a cute though.
A cute. Damn, that was next level geometry pun. Dude, we're for the kids. That's awesome.
That's 3 a.m. on Celebrity Crushes.
Okay, we said this is going to be a short one. We want to shout out Kevin's in the studio tonight. Intern Kevin. A little behind on his assignments, but we'll forgive it. We have Bubba.
Oh, my little brother just moved to Utah. What's up, Bubba?
Hi.
Speaking of celebrity crushes,
Aloha, Bubba.
aloha, hello. Speaking of celebrity crushes, when Bubba was 15, he asked out Auli'i Carvalho to prom via a YouTube video.
Who's that?
Who is she?
She's the voice actress for Moana.
Do you want to tell the story? Real quick?
So
Come closer, a little closer.
Like this far away.
Like you just put a spell on it.
Yeah,
Your
so
Hawaiian savagery.
I guess it basically started when Moana came out, November 2016, November 3rd. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
So the movie came out. I watched it 10 times in the theaters. It's like $150. But in my defense, I saw it each time with different friends.
Okay.
You have 10 friends.
I
will let it slide.
Basically. But I thought it was cool. And I think in January she came back to school. And
She goes to the same school as you.
yeah, she goes
there
to
you
the
go.
same school, Middle School. And
The waves.
so I basically skipped class to go meet her because she was doing like an interview for our school newspaper show thing. And then, funny enough, what kind of inspired me to ask her to prom, a little bit after that, Ed Sheeran's album came out, Divide, and I heard the song Perfect. Okay? I was like, yo. And yeah, that inspired me to do the promposal. You can look it up; it's still there. I think it's promposal to Moana / Auli'i Carvalho.
So this video went viral in Hawaii, which isn't that hard to do because there's like 100 people there. But they played it like on all the news outlets. But did you get to go?
No, still waiting for the response. 4 years later.
Maybe she'll hear this.
Like, literally, I think it popped up in my memories on Snapchat like 4 years ago. You made this video.
I thought she responded though. She reached
No,
out to you.
she didn't.
She didn't?
No. All I got was like a Snapchat from my friend who was in the same class as her, and he Snapchatted her watching the video. But that's all I know.
That's rude. Dude, this whole time I thought she responded to you. She had like a nice email.
Yeah, and it was crazy because like for that time when I released the video, I was like almost like the coolest kid on campus, and like all the girls are like, "Oh, I would go with you if you made that for me." I was like, "Oh,
But they didn't make no Disney movies.
oh yeah, they don't have bank."
None of them are Disney princesses.
Yeah,
Dope, Bubs.
yeah.
Welcome, Bubba. We also have Reed from Thailand. Dude, one of the most highly requested returns of the podcast.
Flew in from Thailand tonight.
Yeah. But you just got back from St. Thomas?
Yes, sir.
And you had some interesting expeditions? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so while we were in St. Thomas, we went to Epstein's Island, which was pretty cool. Really good snorkeling around his island. But it was interesting.
Just to be clear, you like didn't go to the island like one of the people.
Yeah, we were invited there.
No, he
No,
was
but it was
he was trafficked there.
Stark. I mean, you're cute enough. Anyway.
But it was interesting because the captain of our boat was just telling us about his story and the crew that still manages his property. And according to the crew that works there, they all believe that he's like still alive and that there's no way someone with that much money and resources and power could just like die like that. And so she was telling us how like a couple days before he allegedly committed suicide, like he turned over all of his assets, including the island, to his brother who he's not close with. And so there's just like a lot of things that the crew believes that he's still alive and out there somewhere.
I believe it.
Insane.
So new theory. They murdered his brother and gave him plastic surgery to look like his brother. Allegedly.
Bro.
Anyway, so that's cool. Anything else, y'all?
Nah.
Okay, this is supposed to be a short episode, so let's do this. All right, now we roll our 20-sided die to determine in what order we tell our stories tonight. Highest goes first, and so on. DJ, okay. DJ got a 6. Sean got a 10. And I got a 16. So the order is me, Sean, DJ.
Yer.
So for me tonight, my story comes to us from Utah, from one of our listeners, Sierra W.
What's up, Sierra?
What's up?
Thank you.
So Sierra discovered our podcast sometime last year. In her words, when she discovered us, she listened to us all the time. And the job she was doing at the time was she was delivering flowers for her mother's like flower company or business rather. So while she's making these deliveries, she's listening to our podcast the entire time, which I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding. But she has since listened to the entire discography, the entire back catalog, and then became a patron and listened to every bonus thing we had. So she's completely caught up.
Damn, the real MVP over here.
I know, for real. So she sent this story in, and this happened to her over the winter when she was delivering flowers. All right, so this is during COVID. This is, like I said, while she's delivering flowers for her mom. She would ride around all day in the snow listening to the podcast in the delivery van. And she pulls up to this one house to make this delivery, to drop off these flowers. And you guys know when it snows in Utah, like the fresh coat.
Fresh pow, dude.
Everything's covered in a fresh coat. The mountains look way more beautiful. Every tree has a couple inches. And it's just like blankets of white on every lawn, everywhere. So she pulls up to this house, and it's one of those super fresh. And she looks and she remarks about how there are 0 footprints anywhere. Like no one's been here to this house. Which kind of sucks because now she's going to have to be the one to like step through the snow. Whereas before, she'd always like step in other people's footsteps.
Yeah.
So she thinks, dang, I'm going to, my shoes are going to get soaked, but whatever. So she takes her first step, makes her way up the path to this house, and sets down the flowers on the doorstep. Stands up, and she turns around to go back to the van and sees that there are now 2 sets of footprints. in the snow on the path that she just walked up. It's one that's mirroring her exact footprints, slightly to the left, and they're pointed towards the van.
Oh, shit.
So she just sat there, contemplated how the hell this could have happened. She didn't make multiple trips to the van. She walked straight from the van to the door and turned around. And she had just been listening to our podcast, so I'm sure she's like annoyed. No, I'm just kidding.
What form of-
In a creeped out mood. And she said it's just one of those things that happen where she has zero idea of how to explain.
Jesus.
I don't like that.
Kevin said it was Jesus.
Was that what he carried her?
Moonwalking in the sun or in the snow. I loved it. Just a short story.
I mean, snow is frozen water.
But then he would have been walking
Yeah,
on
he would have
top.
been walking on top. There would be no footprints.
Her second story also happened in Utah. And it's a classic already, I could tell. But I will be saving it for our next Utah episode, which we have no idea when will be. So,
Dude, I would be scared. My initial thought was they're hiding in the van.
oh, freak. I'm sure that crossed her mind. I'm sure she was very on guard after.
Yeah.
She didn't say anything after it. She just said it happened, and it's sort of just like she had more deliveries to do, so she had to get on her way, you know?
Yeah. Eee, spooky. I can't wait to hear the other one. Was it during work as well?
You'll have to find out. All right, I have one more story tonight. Okay, this one I heard while listening to another podcast. It's a much larger podcast than ours. It's called Crime Junkies. I'm sure many of our listeners have listened to Crime Junkies. If you haven't, go listen to them. They're true crime. They cover murders, disappearances, serial killers, everything like that. They don't focus on spooky stories as much as us. It's like way true crime, but really well done. They're one of our idols. Ashley Flowers, the producer of that podcast, quit her job a couple years ago because podcasting became her full-time job. So I've always really looked up to them. Shout out Crime Junkies. They got this podcast from another podcast. They got this story from another podcast that they listen to. So this is like third hand. And that podcast is Something Was Wrong. That's hosted by Tiffany Reese. So this story they shared, and as I was listening to it, I was like, oh, this is perfect to share here with you guys. Like, you would want to hear this. And they've asked to spread this story so there's more awareness about this subject. So it's a story about this girl named Jez. And back in 2013, Jez moved, I believe, from Idaho or Wyoming to Colorado. Now, she didn't move to downtown Denver. It was like right outside downtown Denver. But she's really excited. She's young. She's in her 20s. And it's this whole new world, whole new chapter. And she's going to make the most of it, right? So new city, new chapter. And she has no friends at this time. She doesn't know anyone in the city. So what does she do? She goes to the internet. I think Tinder had been out for about a year, so it wasn't as poppin' as it was now. So she was using different online apps. And I believe she was using the one called Plenty of Fish. So she gets on there, and Plenty of Fish shows you who's online at the time. And she gets connected with this kid, I think named Jordan. Super hot, tall, chiseled chin, hazel eyes. Just a dime piece, I imagine. I imagine to myself. But so she's like not necessarily looking for romantic hookup. She's just looking to like meet up with people. So they connect, they start talking, and they're chatting back and forth for like an hour, you know, a little bit about where they're from, you know, what they're doing in the city, what they're doing in Denver, and they connect. And he says, yo, let's meet up tonight. Let's grab a couple drinks. Let's get dinner or something and hang out downtown. I know a great restaurant. She's like, sweet. So they decide on a restaurant, and it's called Old Chicago. It's in downtown Denver. Pretty far from where she lives, but whatever. And they decide a time, and they set their plans. And the rest of the story, I will be telling to the patrons. So if you're interested in hearing the rest of this, you can go to their podcast where they'll tell it way better than I will, or you can go to the 3 a.m. or Patreon/the 3 a.m. pod, where we tell a bonus story every week. So she gets off work, she gets ready, She starts heading down to the restaurant. And as she's getting there, she gets a text from Jordan. And we're back. Any thoughts? Feelings? Impressions?
It's a good story to hear,
Mm-hmm.
to be aware of,
Thanks, Sean.
so you can protect yourself.
Yep. Anyway, that's me tonight, guys.
Hell yeah.
Sean?
So my story this week I found from Reddit, from user here for LNM.
Late night misogyny? Late
Late
night
night massage.
master.
Maybe we not try and find out what
Okay.
that is, but she tells the story of what happened to her when she was like 8 years old. So this has been quite a while ago, and she said she's visiting like a family member's cabin out in the middle of Missouri. And she says it's kind of backwoods Missouri, no really close neighbors at all. And the only people who are close are also family. So it's like they have a couple of their houses, they're within a mile range, and they're all like aunts and uncles or whatever, right? So one of the nights, the adults, and she says it's kind of like a family gathering almost, because there's a lot of family members that are around. The adults one night decide they're all going to go into town, go bowling. Apparently that was a thing. Super fun. All the kids are like, okay, no adult supervision now. Free reign.
Bust out that Titanic tape 2, 20 minutes.
Like a French
Just kidding.
girl.
I don't even know what that is.
Yo, dude, what is that, bro? So once all of the parents, the adults leave, she said her and 4 other cousins all in this house are like, we're going to play hide and seek. Now is their own, you know how like there's so many different versions of hide and seek. Their version of hide and seek they called vampire. And the way that they would play is there was this one like mattress, like kind of really thin mattress out in one of the living rooms that they set up for when family members are all visiting. The person that was it would go and like get on the mattress and then pull it up over them. So it was like kind of sandwiching them like a coffin, they said. And then they would count to 100 while everyone else went and hid in the house. And then after they finished counting, they would go and try and find everyone. And all the people that were hiding had to go and get to the coffin before they got found, so that they didn't get to have to be it next, right? So she said there are 2 different kinds of players. There's the players that are going to go and find the perfect hiding spot and just never get caught. Or there's the ones who are going to hide somewhere in that very room so that once the person seeking leaves the room, they can just run to the coffin and not be it. She was one of those.
I almost said,
So her older cousin, whose name was Ben, he's it first. So he goes and gets on the mattress, pulls it up over him, starts counting. And our storyteller, we'll actually call her Izzy, finds some place within this very room to just hide and wait for him to finish counting so that she can easily, and she's 8, so she can easily get to this coffin and not have to be it next. Now, at this time, it's also super dark now and stormy. So kind of out in the middle of backwoods Missouri, they turned off all the lights in the house to play this game. So legitimately, they couldn't see anything. So it's kind of like a mixture of hide and seek and murder in the dark almost. So honestly, this game sounds super fun if you ask me, but essentially she goes and hides. It's completely pitch black, but it's also storming outside. So every once in a while, they'll have a lightning strike. It'll kind of light up the house a little bit. It'll come in through the windows, like the light, and he'll have like a quick view of his surroundings as he's seeking.
terrifying, dude.
So as Ben is counting down, he finally gets to 100, or counting up. He finally gets to 100. And as he does that, shortly after lifting the coffin off of him, lightning lights up the sky. And very obviously, there's someone at the window, peeking in through the window with both of their hands around their eyes, trying to see in the house. So Ben, as he sees this, he like whispers really loud, "Is there anyone else hiding in here?" And Izzy's like, "Yes, I'm in here." and another lightning lights up the sky.
I wouldn't have answered, dude. I would be like, nice try, Ben.
Well, she sees the guy at the window too.
Oh, okay.
She sees the guy at the window too. Another lightning lights up the sky, and this guy has backed up off of the window, and it looks like he's now looking at the front door.
Oh, crap.
Now, Ben slowly kind of sneaks off of his mattress that he's on and around the couch. And as he sees the guy walking towards the front door, he rushes over and locks the front door. And then he tells Izzy to start locking the other doors. And he yells to the other people in the house. Now, these people didn't see the guy, so they could probably be like, he's just trying to get us. But Ben starts flipping on all the lights. He flipped on the porch light, and he starts flipping on the living room lights just to let this guy know that there are people here. So Izzy and now all of her other cousins are running around the house, locking doors, windows, anything that is unlocked. And at one point while doing this, Izzy heads to the kitchen to lock the sliding glass door. Izzy's slowly heading up to this sliding glass door to lock it, and Ben is standing 10 feet behind her, and he whispers just super loudly again, "Lock it now." And she just like kind of slides the little piece in the door. It was like one of those little metal pieces you'll slide in. And he says, "Close the curtain." Just super urgent. So she closes the curtain. And later on, we find out that Ben had seen this guy out behind this sliding glass door as well. He didn't tell her that at the time, but he had seen him coming up. Ben had seen the guy outside coming up to this sliding glass door. And so urgently tells Izzy to close the door and lock it as quickly as she can. And I don't know if you've ever like heard of this before, is like shared telephone lines for like a small community. So this whole community of like family members shared this one telephone line, and it would ring like a different ringtone for different houses, right? Because it's just out in the middle of nowhere. So they just have the one line coming in. And this is back in the 80s. So they're trying to get a call out. All these kids, there's 5 kids in this house, and they're trying to get a call out. And when they pick it up, it's giving them busy tone, like someone else on one of the other houses is using the phone. So they can't get a call out. So Ben tells one of the other little cousins, go and try and call someone on the CB radio. So he has Izzy now like just waiting by the phone, trying to find out whenever it stops going busy so they can get a call out. And then another one of her cousins like trying to get on the CB radio. And they know that there's also guns in the house too. So Ben goes around trying to find the guns, and he can't. All he finds is just a BB gun. Something, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you're Kevin McAllister, you'll make it work.
Exactly, dude. So as lightning is just lighting up the sky, they can see like patches of light outside, and they don't see this guy anymore. But as they're like trying to make a call out, trying to get on the CB radio, and as Ben is finally like got this BB gun, like is ready to go to war, they see someone coming up the driveway. And it's kind of dark still, no lightning in the sky, so they just see the figure of someone walking up. Ben throws the front door open and like cocks his BB gun. He's like, "Don't come any closer." And then they hear someone say, "You know that's just a BB gun, right?" And it was one of their other cousins from one of the other houses. Not the same guy that they'd seen outside.
Yeah.
I was like, this whole story was
I know.
No. This is not the same guy.
But still, it's scary because, like, get in here now.
Yeah. They tell him to get in. They lock the door. And finally, the phone comes back on. So they get a call out. The adults start coming back. They never see the guy again. Fortunately, they all survived. And Izzy, as she was writing the story, decided she was going to talk to a couple of her other cousins and see if they had any other information. And yeah, apparently both Ben and one of the other cousins had seen this guy coming up to the sliding glass door right as she was there. So she got super lucky on that one. And she said they never tried to play vampire again out there at that house. They were all too traumatized to be able to do it again. But that's Izzy's story of her near miss and survival of some backwoods Missouri hick.
Ugh. Or Dracula.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, it could
Dracula
be, bro.
showing up.
I
I
playing
will not be
vampire
mocked.
with an actual vampire.
I want to play your game. Bro, when you were like, the phone wasn't working, I thought, and you were like, and then Ben turned to one of the younger cousins. I thought you were going to say, and he said, you're going to have to run to Aunt Linda's house and just be like, run fast. For some reason, I thought that's what you were about to say.
One funny thing though that I while I was reading the story was when she talked to Ben, he's like, "Man, I didn't think you guys like thought I was as badass as I was doing all of this." Because he went around just giving people directions, like threw the door open, was going to shoot the guy with a BB gun. And, like all of his little cousins thought he was just the shit.
Well, I bet. It's like he might have been like 12 or 13, but if you're 8, that's like a full-blown adult. So you're like, okay, sir, what are we supposed to do? Like,
Tell me
us,
what to
please.
do.
Yeah.
But having been in like some of those like storms out there, just like out in the middle of nowhere storms where it's dark and lightning lighting up the sky, like to me, I had this very vivid image of like playing with my cousins back in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And it's super creepy. If like this were to happen to me, someone just peeking into the house would be terrifying.
Yeah. I got chills during that one. That doesn't happen every episode, unfortunately. No, but I legit got chills because I think you're right. You hit it on the nail. It's like I could totally put myself in that situation and live it.
When you were talking about running to the aunt's house, reminded me of an island in the Philippines called Camotes. Were you ever there?
Oh, no, I never got to go there.
So it's a tiny island and decently touristy, beautiful beaches. But there are other bigger islands with more tourist attractions. So it's still kind of like a hidden secret in the Philippines. But when we were serving there as missionaries, we had a couple friends who were on that island, tiny island. And there's an airport there that was out of commission for years, to the point where the runway had tall grass. And I only heard it from the other missionaries, so I doubt it's true. But they talked about it being haunted. But I knew a few of them who would play this game, and they shared a car on that island. So there are 4 missionaries, 1 car. Every time they had a new missionary come to the island, their initiation was to tell them about this haunted airport and how there are people or creatures that live in the tall grass. And they would park at the beginning of the airstrip, and they would make them run all the way to the end of the airstrip and run all the way back in between all the tall grass with only the headlight beams of the car in the pitch black of night.
What was the missionaries' names? Elder Satan? That's so messed up, dude.
It was like the initiation.
Yeah. It's like, or we just serve the Lord out here.
Yeah.
Like, there's that option. Dude, that would be terrifying, but I would have to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that was a fun story.
Dude, yeah. I was creeped out by that one. It was a good one for me.
I know it's supposed to be a short episode, but it reminds me of the story that Seth shared. Do you remember when they were playing hide and seek?
Mm-hmm.
And his buddy was wedged there, and someone,
yeah.
no one who they recognized, stood in the doorway for about like a minute or two and then left. And they ended up finding out that like all the doors were unlocked and the gate was wide open.
Big nope.
Yeah, I like completely forgot about that story because we've told so many stories, but while you're telling that, I was like, I remembered that. So.
Yeah. And as a kid, just it seems so much scarier, dude.
Yeah.
Like every little thing.
But also, as an adult, it can sometimes seem even scarier because you might fully comprehend the situation.
True,
like,
yeah.
Because as a kid, you might be like, that was weird. But then as an adult, you're like, dude, that was not
pedo.
good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like in the moment as a kid, it's terrifying.
Yes.
Post, like after it, is like, dude, that was kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
As an adult, you're like in the moment, you're probably a little more relaxed. But then post, you're like, dude,
Because
what really was that? It's like the opposite, bro.
It's like hindsight 2020. Is that you?
That's me for tonight, guys.
Thanks, Shawnee.
Gang. All right. 2 short stories to close us off. Both from Reddit. First one comes from user Ruby Red Starfish. I'm just going to read it straight because I like the way they wrote. Ruby says, I lived in a place where from my bed I could see through the dining room and into my son's room. I had a hard time sleeping and heard some noise. I looked out and my son was crouched on a dining room chair. He was 2 at the time. I asked him why he was up. He reached out his arms and was opening and closing his fists as kids often do when they want to be picked up. He whispered, "Mama." I got up to get him, and it sounds like he ran across the bedroom. I got up to get him, and when I reached the room, he was out of the chair and fast asleep in his bed. He said there was a lot of things that happened in that place and ended up breaking my lease and moving soon after.
Smart.
Okay, second one. Emmylou 1997. That's the user. My sister and I used to spend weekends at my grandmother's house when we were younger, all the way up until high school. When we were younger, we slept in her bed on nights when my grandpa would go out of town for work. My grandma would make us bacon and hot cocoa for breakfast in the mornings.
Dang, dude.
I woke up one morning, opened my eyes, right as my grandmother was leaning into the bedroom doorway to come and wake us up. I figured she had come to see if I was awake yet, but then she leaned backwards out of the doorway and out of sight. Something about the way she moved wasn't quite right, and that's when I realized I smelled and heard bacon cooking downstairs. It struck me as odd that she would walk away from bacon while it was on the stove. She was in her 70s at this time, and though she got around well for her age, taking the stairs was still a bit of a task and took some time. It didn't make sense that she would risk burning food on the stove just to come upstairs and look at me, especially since she would usually just yell up from the bottom of the stairs to wake us up. I called out to ask if she was upstairs. From where I was, I could see out the bedroom door and down the stairs. She walked from the kitchen to the bottom of the stairs and said no, she was making bacon. Got out of bed, looked downstairs. My sister was already awake and downstairs with my grandma, which is why she was already making bacon before I was up. Both of them said she had not been upstairs, so I told them what happened. That's when my grandma told us the stories. So she continues telling the stories about her grandma thinking that she has a doppelganger. And not only her, but her grandpa, because she would see her husband when he was out of town. She said her and her sons multiple times would hear grandpa come home, see him walk past the doorway down the hallway into his bedroom, and they'd follow him just to check up, hey, you're home early or something. Nobody in the room. Grandma said that repeatedly they had phones or like a telephone packed in the basement in one of the boxes, moving boxes, and it would repeatedly ring despite not it being plugged into anything. Grandmother also talked about how she would see her deceased mother at night sometimes, sitting at the edge of her bed, hearing her voice, but it always seemed like she was more comforted than scared. Grandma never told me these stories until I started experiencing them for myself firsthand. So this was just a thread with everybody talking about their experiences with mimics and doppelgangers.
Ugh.
And those were some of the top ones.
For some reason in my head, the grandma peeking in and then like just
Or
like unnaturally moving back
like sliding?
freaks me the F out.
Sliding
Oh.
away almost. That's what I had envisioned in my mind.
Bro, if that's me, I Leroy Jenkins downstairs.
I told this like 100 times, but I see things when I wake up and it takes me 20 seconds to like see reality. And one of them, I've told this, I'm sorry, but whatever. One of them that freaked me out the most was the woman's face completely parallel to the ground, about a foot off the ground, peeking in my door. So it was just someone like completely horizontal looking in near like the bottom of my door. And it was like I could see it and I was just blinking. And then finally it like fades away. Is that you?
That's me, short.
Yo. Last thing I just remembered. You know my path I go on in the reservoir near, or like the nature preserve near my house?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You go running there sometimes?
Okay, recently someone's been tying a ton of twigs in trees with twine. So
Very Blair Witch, dude.
there's like, you go down and you make your way all the way down the hill to this like riverbed. And sometimes I like go through the riverbed because it's cool, it's dry. And there's just a patch of like 20 different sized twigs and branches tied into a tree with twine. And this is the same path where I've found teepees or just like a ton of sticks stacked in like teepees all over. A ton of rocks just stacked up. I don't know. It's probably just a kid, but it's just weird. It's just odd. Every time I'm like, because I'm always alone out there.
Oh, you have pics.
Yeah. I was like, dude, I got to take a photo of this.
It's weird, dude.
You can like scroll left or right. I don't know which way, but there's like 20, 30 of those. Some of them were really small. I started looking around and I was like, whoa, there's way more around me than I thought.
They're not traps, are they?
The only thing I could think of, because I've done this once when I was little, is you put peanut butter on like a pine cone and put it in a tree for birds, like as a bird feeder. That's the only thing I can think of. But
No way this is a trap.
no, that wouldn't trap anything.
So why?
I don't know.
No.
I wouldn't really care about it, but the fact that I have seen so many weird damn things in this place, it's just odd to me.
Bro, I've been out there too by myself, but nothing has ever happened.
I do go probably way more than you.
Well, yeah, you go definitely way more
Almost
than me.
every day, yeah. Guys, this was a fun night. This was supposed to be a short episode, and I think it's like longer than our normal ones.
Yeah.
We are so bad at that.
Regardless, thank you for listening.
It was fun. Everyone out there, thank you so much for all your love support. Keep sending in your stories. Keep getting haunted, giving us more content. Share this with a friend. If you guys don't know, we're on YouTube. If you don't know, we're on Instagram. Go follow, interact, and that's it. So everyone out there, bye, love you, be safe.
Be careful out there.
Aloha.
Goodbye.
Aloha, goodbye.
Hey, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of 3 a.m. If you want to support us, visit our Patreon where patrons have access to exclusive content. If you're not able to support us monetarily, don't worry. This episode is on us. You can still rate and review us on whatever platform you listen to us on. It really does go a long way. You can also follow us on social media. Our handle everywhere, including Patreon, is the 3 a.m. pod. Finally, do you have any scary stories? If so, submit them to our website, the3ampodcast.com. We love any audio or visual aids that can help bring your stories to life. So file uploads are welcome with your written submissions. We're anxious and excited to hear from you.
I forgot to mention, I was going to say, my name's Charlie. I'm the yellow one.
Because freaking fools just
Someone messaged us today and said, I have
Just
listened to you
became a
guys for a long
Patreon.
time. And the entire time I thought Sean was the Asian one. And Charlie was the tall redheaded.
But he never watched the YouTube videos.
So he just watched those.
So then I was like, I need to start introducing myself and saying, my name's Charlie. I'm the yellow one.
My name is Sean. I'm the red one.
My name's DJ.
People think you're making fun of Indians.
You could just say I'm the pale one.
The pale, sometimes red.
The red one.
The redhead one. There we go.
And this
Red
is
beard
DJ the...
The turd colored one.
Oh, I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
You're still a 7, bro.